Hey, this is Pamela Schneider. I'm the retail editor for Blue Book Services, and this is the Produce Reporter Week in Review. And because we have to make everything about soccer, we've got our USA jerseys for 4th of July.
Or as some call it, Independence Day.
Independence Day, yes, July 4th, 4th of July, Independence Day, all of that stuff.
Boy, no one
But
is celebrating Independence Day more than grocery retailers. How many news releases have we gotten for Independence Day promotions? It's amazing.
it is actually, it seems like every retailer decided that once we started to see them for like Aldi and Lidl and all of those guys, it's like Kroger's like, wait, we got deals too, and it is a thing now. And you know what though, in the nearly 20 years of covering the produce industry on the retail side, for me, I know retailers do big stuff for holidays, but now they're sending out the press releases trying to get more people's attention for some of the promotions that they've got going on in there. And some of them are pretty good. I mean, all of them are cookout based for the summer holidays, but I did notice that Kroger had a pretty cool one. They had two this week. One was focused on 4th of July stuff, and especially fresh fruit for dessert and different kind of dessert options. But the one that really caught my eye was actually not related to 4th of July. It was called the Schools Out for Summer Grocery Haul, and they're sharing meal ideas and with a specific price point in the headline for as little as $3.50 a meal. And I really think that is something that's a smart move for a retailer to do, especially one that's trying to compete on price with others like Aldi. And they even have just like a grocery list with check off marks. And the best part of it is, of this whole grocery list, the first thing that's listed and one of the most bountiful things is fresh produce. Thank you. Because fresh produce is getting a bad rap for not being cost effective, and it totally is. Because we're not seeing a lot of the inflation that we're seeing in other departments in the produce department.
Yeah, I also noticed everything on that list is private label except for produce, which presumably would still be branded.
Well, I mean, they've got Kroger Ultimate Caesar Salad Kit deal, but and the bagged cut French green beans. So some of this stuff is in their private label, but yes, everything else in Center Store, especially, that is, every one of those is a house label. And of course, they're trying to promote that price image as they move forward with trying to acquire Albertsons and make it look like they are actually an everyday low price. I don't think that's Kroger, but they're certainly trying to promote their price perspective or value proposition. But just to see, not only are they saying you can save money at Kroger, but you can get a meal for $3.50. I think the price point in the text, in the headline, heavily promoted, is what's going to catch people's eye.
Yeah, and then Aldi's cookout promotion, they point out that if the average of feeding 10 people at a Independence Day cookout is $67, their list comes in at $46. So $20 less than the average one. So they're hitting it hard.
And the next sentence is, it's a sizzling hot 30.8% less on cookout must-haves. Unfortunately, it's ground beef, pork chops, potato chips, and lemonade. There's not really much to do with fresh produce, but hey,
strawberries on the list.
Oh,
Potato salad is fresh-ish.
Tangential to, I mean, a little mayo on there. But I really want to know where they got their national average price for strawberries being $4.56 a pound, because that's not what's happening. Oh, and price update on cherries. I bought them for $2.48 a pound this week. It is getting serious about cherries, especially with Washington. And I'm sitting here actually watching everyone who gets their amazing, beautiful box of gorgeous Stamilk cherries waiting for mine to arrive. I'm looking out the window going, where are you, UPS guy? Because you got yours, did you?
The envy is hitting hard, isn't it?
Ah, man, it is the best promo. It is so simple, but it's just the go. I use those boxes. I'm surprised I don't have one sitting on my desk. I got Xbox games in them. I've got snacks in my pantry. I mean, it is the best promo. Is that gorgeous rows of cherries. This time of year, it's always so nice.
It's a happy day.
We had a couple of other things in the news this week. We had mergers and acquisitions picking back up. We had a Cisco. We had Calera selling off its seed business. That's no surprise. They've been shedding a lot of stuff lately. And then Cardenas parent is expanding into Texas. They are actually increasing their footprint by about a third by buying El Rancho Supermercado. I mean, that's not going to be a very familiar banner for most people, but I actually love that place. They have one here in Austin, and when I need to go to a Mexican or Hispanic grocery store, that's my go-to. So I think it fits very well in the Cardenas portfolio. But it was interesting to see that, they also have one in Liberal, Kansas, like middle of nowhere.
I saw that they had stores in Texas and Kansas. I was like, really? I wonder where that is. It's in Liberal, Kansas, which is more than 6 hours from Kansas City.
That's practically Denver.
8 hours in every direction you get to a major city from Kansas City. So that's just too darn far.
The last thing I wanted to bring up this week is also I have some more props to go with it. I'm working on the office overhaul. It's going to be amazing when it's finally done. But it's topical because some people have figured out how to switch the gene off that causes browning in avocados. And I can remember, it must have been at least 10 years ago. I was at a meeting where we're talking about the market launch of the Arctic apple, which is a different company. It's two different labs, two different people. I just want to make sure that's clear. But I was talking to some folks from there, and they were talking about, well, a similar thing could happen to something like an avocado. And it's just like the light bulb goes on, and everyone I've ever told that, they think, oh yeah, non-browning apples, that's a great idea. It's great for sliced apples. It's great for actually pack out and things like that. But when you tell them that you can make a bowl of guacamole that doesn't turn brown, they're like, tell me more. Tell me more about this magic avocado. So this could be so exciting. The only problem is that seeing the rollout of the non-browning apple take as long as it has. I mean, trees take so long to grow, and regulatory stuff takes so long to get the different varieties. We're not going to have non-browning guac anytime soon.
But we do also have a different consumer atmosphere than 20 years ago.
Yes.
There was an irrational fear of GMOs, and now many consumers have gotten over that. And maybe we've had 20 years of them being in the market and no obvious problems. Fact,
I've been eating them for a long time. Yes. And I absolutely, they're actually getting ready to have they're finishing a new facility, so we should see some of them moving up pretty quickly as far as Arctic apple goes. But avocados, I think that there's so much potential there, even in just the food service sector. To talk about back of house and restaurants and things like that, and not having to worry about as many bruises or even just the stem popping or mishandling at retail. That has huge implications. I don't think we've found a ceiling for avocado demand yet. It just does not seem to be slowing. Even when we had prices going like this, even when we had outrageous record high prices, we still have demand. We had restaurants continuing to serve guacamole and not at an exorbitant fee. So, even all of that, I still see tremendous demand for avocados. So exciting news. Although I know that it's going to take like 5 years before we see any of them, like minimum 5 years, probably more like 10 before we actually see something like this become reality. But it's super exciting.
In the meantime, as one of my kids pointed out from learning on TikTok, is if you press the plastic wrap right down against the guacamole, it does save it a little bit longer when you put it in the fridge and save it, as opposed
Oh
to
yeah,
having any air between the plastic and the guac.
that has been my tried and true
It
method,
does
is to
actually
like
work.
push it all the way down. I've even heard some people put some water in there. And I did test the whole keeping your avocados fresh in water in your fridge until I saw a food scientist say, don't do that, because anything that's on the skin of the avocado is going to be floating around in that water and multiplying or whatever, and then it can get in the skin. So that's a terrible idea. So let's not do that. But my tried and true method for not having brown guacamole is to just eat it.
Well, that is the number one. Yeah, just eat it all.
Yeah, eat it all. Only make what you need, and you can push through and have that extra chip. Just do it.
Yes.
All right, well, that's it for the Produce Reporter Week in Review. If you are not getting the Produce Reporter newsletter, you need to go to producebluebook.com and sign up. Happy 4th of July, Independence Day, whatever you want to call it.